Throughout history, the men and women who lead us with new concepts, new ideas, help us all to move forward in thought toward brighter tomorrows. And now, Meetings with Remarkable People, with your host, Jesse Sterling.
Welcome back to Meetings with Remarkable People, in conversation with Shelley Astrof. She's written these incredible books, Timeless Tales, Stories from the Noah Curriculum, and the Noah Curriculum itself, Teach Meditation to Children. And you were painting a wonderful picture as you were a second grade teacher in Montreal.
Yes. Back
in the 70s. You had your whole class meditating.
Yes.
How did you do that? Like, what did that look like?
Actually, it was amazing how it began, because they were a little too rambunctious. The very first time I did it, my class was way too rambunctious. And somehow I managed to tell them that there was a secret power, that they could get a superpower. And with that superpower, something very special, they could have their wish of something, and let's try it out. So they were willing to do 2 minutes. And we all sat down, and I said, just anywhere, sit down. And you know, of course, you're always going to get one who says, oh, can I lie down? I said, sure. First time, just go where you like, but have your own space around you. And let's just be quiet, and they didn't have to close their eyes the first time. And then for 2 minutes they sat, and then some of them didn't want to get up, and they just said, oh, we like this. And something was happening inside of themselves where I told them just to think about, go to a place inside that made you really, really happy.
What a wonderful way to teach it.
And they found their happy place. So slowly, as we were doing this, in this first class that I did, we only did 3 days a week, and we got up to 15 minutes. And this is 7-year-olds.
Amazing.
They would sit there, and they would close their eyes, and they would go. It was just think of something that made you the most happy in your whole life. And they would come out with these incredible smiles on their faces. And I remember the first time we did it before recess, and that was never a good idea, because they didn't actually want to go.
Right, they're just living in that stillness and that bliss.
Exactly. So we switched it, and we did it when they came back from recess, which actually worked for me.
Yeah, chill out their nervous system.
So they came back from recess, and they had their little sort of time, and then they would sit down, and they would close their eyes for about 15 minutes. And then with every class I did, we always did penmanship afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I know that for me, it was absolutely amazing, because we used to have journal in the morning. When they'd come in first thing, we would have 20 to 30 minutes where they would come in and they'd do their journal of anything they wanted. And it started to happen that they started writing these little imaginary stories of what they would do in their time in the meditation. Some of them were one little boy I remember wanted to be an architect, and he was building this fabulous village that was in these clouds. It was amazing. It was a very long time ago, but I do remember how, without knowing very much at the time, I realized that something very powerful and very positive could happen to the children. And the other thing that did happen was their focus was such that their parents out there, their spelling got better.
Right.
Their math skills started to improve, because they started to have a kind of concentration that was coming natural to them, because they weren't sort of amped up on the kind of frantic energy of what was going on. They were starting to center themselves, and the class was actually doing better academically. So everybody liked it. It was a win-win.
A common misperception about meditation is that you get spaced out or you're groggy afterwards. No,
Absolutely
it's quite the
not.
opposite.
It
It's a
is the
sharpening of
opposite.
the intellect. You're giving your nervous system a rest. It's like rebooting your iPhone or something. You turn it off, you turn it back on, it works better.
Absolutely. And there are many different types of meditations. Like when I remember I was writing my thesis and I was working and I had a family, and I would, after 2 hours of straight work, I would meditate very strongly on mantra, because a certain type of mantra meditation really sharpens the intellect. And that
So mantra is this repeating of sound,
You
or
would-
repeating internally of a phrase silently.
you would find the mantra that suited you, and it doesn't have to be in Sanskrit, and I talk about that. You can find a mantra of English or any language, but you want the meaning to be that which elevates you, and you aspire to be that. So you find something that makes you your best self, and you hold to that. But then there are people, like sometimes when I wanted to get into sort of more artistic expression or something, I might do more pranayama, or actually just sitting back and watching my thoughts, as if the sky was there and the thoughts would come and go like birds flying through the sky or airplanes or anything, but you just watch it. And that kind of meditation always really helped in more artistic expression. I mean, meditation is absolutely a fabulous way of gathering your energy and propelling it in the way that you want yourself to go. So rather than your mind dictating, it's actually your inner being that you're tapping into, and then you put yourself into that, which I mean, I've lived my life like that. So I've just enjoyed that aspect.
Well, there's a yogic philosophy, ancient Vedic philosophy, all lost through fragmentation, all
Yes.
gained through focus.
Absolutely.
You can see it with light. If you hold up a magnifying glass, it can even create fire. It's so
Absolutely.
one-pointed. And so I totally understood when you described, instead of this frantic energy, participating joyfully in this world of things and forms, to do a silent retreat, you
Yes.
can come out so focused and hence more productive.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's not about the production. Sometimes it's about sitting back and just enjoying your life with your friends and your family. And sometimes that could just be the most precious gift that you can give anyone. Because our life is meant to be lived and enjoyed with your friends and your family, and coming to know who you are is actually all the enjoyment that you'll ever need.
Time for a quick break on Meetings with Remarkable People. More with Shelley Astrof right after this. Minutes might be good to start your kids out with.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I started writing these little meditations for children, and I have a little character in there. They're these cute little characters, and I called them the Hum Twins. One is Ram Hum and one is Madhuram Hum, which is one of the mantras in the book. I have this meditation where I always start off for the children. Close your eyes and put a smile on your face. And then I'll either say, and then watch your breath, or say the mantra, or watch your thoughts. But it always begins, close your eyes and put a smile on your face. because meditation will take you to your happiest place. And it's 30 seconds.
It's nice though, with kind of like the breathing. You breathe deep and naturally you're going to get a feeling of calm that follows it. Shallow breathing is usually shallow thinking. I was just thinking with the smile, it's easy to do, your eyes are closed, but it just naturally kind of makes your body feel a little happier.
Well, the minute you do that, all of a sudden your back goes straight, your smile is there, and your whole space becomes that happy place. And that happy place is who you really are.
Yeah, and it's nothing to get hung up about if we're talking about a strict posture or a certain kind of hands. All that can come later.
Yeah.
But I will find sometimes someone's taken a snap of me meditated, and I have a natural, I don't know, frowny kind of face if I'm not thinking about it, and I'm drooped over. And it's when you can think about it, it is nice to kind of keep the spine more erect and have the little Buddha, little slight upturned smile if you can think about it.
And the more you meditate, those things you know, lean on the wall and just it's not a rule, but it's a really nice way to begin a meditation for however long you do it. But it's a really nice way to close your eyes and put a smile on your face, especially for children.
A smile meditation. Now, I appreciate smile out there, viewer.
I hadn't thought of that.
I appreciate that one child in your class, though. You said there's always one that wanted to lay down.
Yeah.
I am pioneering bubble bath meditations personally.
All right, then.
I love to meditate in the bubble bath. And you can lie down. It's very effective if that's where you can go for 20, 30 minutes and no one will bother you. You can get a great meditation lying down.
And the thing is that you don't have to be so strict and regulated, although in time these things come. But to lie down in a bubble bath is fantastic. And you don't have to discount it as a meditation, and I think that's great. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to a 2-year-old.
Yeah, you don't want to fall asleep in the water. And really practical advice, again, for people that are very busy or have children they're attending to and busy jobs, the car can be a good place. You drive yourself.
Not while driving.
No. Good point. You arrive a little early to your destination, you park your car, you turn it off. No one will come pounding on your window. I retreat to the bathroom occasionally. Usually people don't pound on the door. If you take 2 or 3 minutes, I've leaked out my secret of bubble baths. Yeah, people, whatever it takes for you, your garden, just sneak away for 2-3 minutes. A corner of the house, your special armchair.
Yep, just close your eyes, put a smile on your face, and then you're all set.
I have a feeling someone watching this is going to want to get in touch with you and tap into a little bit of your smile energy and your brilliant sunshine you've been sharing with us. How do people contact you?
You can contact me at knower@knower.ca. The website is knower.ca. And we have a Facebook page called the Knower Curriculum, and Instagram as well called the Knower Curriculum.
Fantastic.
So I'd love to hear from anybody who is interested in meditation and children and stories and putting a smile on their face for the day.
What age do you think is appropriate to start your children on this curriculum?
I wrote it as for elementary school, which would be like grade 5-year-olds to 12-year-olds. But quite honestly, any age, you can have fun with the stories. You can have fun with all the activities at any age. But I geared it to the elementary school age. And I have a lot of like schooly things in there. I always loved words and things, so I have a whole section in there called sesquipedalian words. And I always love doing this with my classes because children love to learn a brand new gigantic word that they can go to the bigger kids and just show off. And so for every story, I introduce a couple of those words. And sesquipedalian means in Latin 1.5 feet. It's a really long word. So there's a lot of fun stuff in there, but it is for the elementary school, kindergarten to grade 6.
Right. Well, I mean, I've enjoyed this. You gave me a copy of it, and Olivia
Yes.
likes getting the stories read to her. And it's a bit of a coloring book as well. She's enjoyed taking her crayons and markers to the
Yes.
beautiful images in there.
Absolutely. The Timeless Tales, when I was young and I used to color a lot, that one of my favorite things was I used to color and listen to those old 45 RPM records. No, they were 78.
Right.
78 RPM. And so my favorite thing was listening and coloring. And so for me, every story, I went through a window. So what I did in this book is every story has a window that the child can color their own. And then throughout, I drew it as a coloring book. In the window would be the different characters and stories of that. So they get to color in whatever I drew, and then they get their own window to color in what they would like to draw in the same window of the story.
Because children are born so creative. It's almost like
Absolutely.
creativity can get driven out of us as we fit into the system of the world and the culture.
It actually does.
But kids seem to have amazing creativity, unbridled creative energy.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And the great thing about meditation, and it's meditation and it's guiding the children in a direction when they're in touch with who they really are. They actually know what's best for themselves. I mean, it's not like you don't have to pull them away from a light socket. They're, but they have an innate nature, and to keep that alive in them is wonderful.
Time for a quick break on Meetings with Remarkable People. More with Shelley Astrof right after this. Really exciting time though, where there does seem to be more mainstream acceptance of meditation and yoga, and hopefully it does become a curriculum in schools around Canada and around the world.
I absolutely hope so. I absolutely hope so, because I think that this is what creates a sense of unity beyond culture, beyond language, beyond religion. It is everyone trying to be their very best self and having the sense of dignity for each other. And that will make a better world inside and a better world outside. And when it becomes one, then we're really in our happy place.
Yeah, I saw a little piece on Facebook that a certain school decided instead of detention,
Yes,
they were going to
I
do
saw that.
meditation, and attendance problems disappeared, behavior problems disappeared. So it works. It's not just two people sitting here having a fantasy about it. It's
Absolutely.
really starting to be spread throughout the world, and it's a really exciting time. My grandfather wrote a book, In Search of a New Age. I feel like that new age is dawning.
Absolutely. Well, he was quite the visionary, because he didn't only go in search of a new age, he could now call it, I found a new age. And I think he found that new age in you.
I'm trying my best. Yeah, and searchofanewaage.com is actually a website I built that talks about his book and his vision, because I went to junior high and high school in Newfoundland, and I will admit I did have a lot of people that would say, oh, your grandfather's cracked, isn't he? He stands on his head all day and he's a vegetarian, and it's like, it was very kind of weird stuff. Oh, I heard your parents meditate. Like it's some dirty little secret, right? They're hippies.
Yeah.
And now it's this beautiful acceptance. It's this mainstream acceptance. And I also tip my cap to Deepak Chopra. I feel like I've had him on the show before. and been a chap who, as a medical doctor and a very established guy on Oprah's show, said, this isn't a kind of weird, airy-fairy practice. Even from a medical standpoint, there's huge benefits to meditating.
Absolutely. I think it's amazing that people like Deepak Chopra and Goldie Hawn and
Eckhart Tolle. And,
exactly. I think that the gift that they're giving to the whole world, that you can just relax, be yourself, and meditation is something that will unite everyone, because everyone calls themselves me or I. Like you say me or I say me or I. When we refer to the other one, we say you, but from our own point of view, everyone is me, everyone is I, and everyone is their own knower, because the one who knows that is you. And so all these people have tapped into the exact same thing. And I think it is not just the dawn of a new age, but I think it's the finding of a new age.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, self alone is, God alone is, love alone is, bliss alone is, pure, free, forever, unborn, unchanging, undying.
Absolutely.
That's the space we're talking about. And it's such a funny trick that even using human words can't fully describe the experience, but that's what we've got, and so we try our best to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And how, if someone wants to buy this book, the Knower Curriculum, how are they going to buy this, Shelley?
It's available on Amazon.
Oh, that's
and
easy.
It's just easy. Amazon in any country, Amazon.ca, Amazon.com.
And it's called the Knower Curriculum.
Absolutely. The Knower Curriculum. Teach meditation to children with timeless tales.
Fantastic. Just a few seconds left in the show. Any final thoughts for our viewers out there?
This book has a lot of little quotes from Swami Sham to Shakespeare, Oscar Wilde to Lewis Carroll. But one of my favorite quotes is, "Therefore, the secret of successful thinking is to become united with your own true nature first. Then simply enjoy."
Fantastic. And I know I've enjoyed your company. I know the viewers have enjoyed your company of Shelley Astrof. From the high Himalayas in India, this has been another remarkable meeting with another remarkable person. Have a safe, happy, and healthy rest of your day. Namaste.